My fiancé insisted I buy a bigger house 50-50 for her dad to move in, gave an ultimatum, so I left. We were together 2 years when my fiancé moved into my house 6 months ago, and we got engaged a month ago, so I thought we were solid until money turned everything sideways. I inherited a lot 3 years back, but I live cheap on purpose. I teach part-time, travel a bit, and I'm building a small non-profit. I budget hard so the money lasts. Only my dad and sister know the full number. When Tamsin moved in, I kept paying the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and utilities like before, and she handled most groceries. A few weeks after the move, she said we should buy a bigger place together so her dad could live with us later. I said I love her dad, but I don't want in-laws under the same roof. I offered a separate unit or a guest house someday instead. We agreed to sit down and put all our finances on the table. She earns around $10,000 a month and has about $100,000 saved. I have several million invested and about $40,000 a month in income from it. When I said it out loud, she stared at me like I was a stranger and asked why, if I had that, I wouldn't just buy a house and cover everything. I said being able to doesn't mean it's smart. I proposed we keep separate finances, open a joint account for shared bills, and split costs by our incomes. I also said I wanted a prenup so we both knew the rules going in. That's when it went off the rails. She said equal partners means the next house should be in both our names, even if I pay for it. I said equity should match what each person puts in. We argued for days. One night she said I was acting like a landlord and she was a tenant. We checked listings and the numbers didn't work without me fronting most of it. Then she gave me an ultimatum. Final offer. I buy the house. We each own 50%. She'll sign a prenup. Take it or leave it. I asked if leave it meant we were done if I said no. She paused, then said yes. I took off the ring, set it on the table, told her it was over, and said she needed to move out. She jumped up, said she didn't really want to end it. She only wanted me to agree. She asked if I was choosing money over her. I said I was choosing boundaries. I told her she tried to make me fund her plan and hand over half. I locked my bedroom door that night. In the morning she made breakfast and asked to talk. She said I lied by hiding the size of my inheritance and that it made her feel I didn't trust her. She said the gap in money scared her, that it meant I would always have more power and she could be stuck if things went bad. She said it wasn't about wanting my money. It was about wanting proof I would choose her over money. She admitted the ultimatum was wrong and she was sorry. I apologized for being vague at the start of our dating and said I should have shared more once we got serious. I told her I still don't want to live with in-laws, even though I care about her dad. I told her I still don't want to live with in-laws, even though I care about her dad, and that I'm fine with visits, Sunday dinners, rides to appointments, and helping whenever needed, but I don't want another adult in our kitchen, bathroom, and hallway every day. I laid out what I would need to even try again. A tight prenup where each of us leaves with only what we put in, house equity tied to contribution, a joint budget funded in proportion to income while we keep separate accounts for personal stuff, counseling together, and a plan for her dad that's a guest house or a nearby condo, not the main house. She said it wasn't about wanting my money. It was about wanting proof I would choose her over money. She said she needed to feel safe and equal, that without a clear sign from me, she'd always wonder where she stood, and that fear was what made her push so hard the night before. She asked if I thought she'd take me to court someday. I said I wanted to make sure we'd never have to. She asked if I'd at least consider putting her name on my current house. I said no, because I bought it before we met. She nodded and agreed to all of it. I said I still wasn't sure. The way she flipped after seeing my numbers felt entitled and manipulative, and I didn't know if that part would pop up again. She booked a hotel for a few days. I packed some of her things to make it easier, labeled the boxes with a marker, and left them by the door. I called my sister and booked therapy. I took a long walk that night and tried to picture our life. In my head, every purchase turned into a debate. Even small things felt like tests we'd both fail. I stared at the ring on the table until the room felt too quiet. 12 days later, I asked her to come by. We sat in the living room with boxes stacked by the door. I told her I can't marry someone I don't trust. She said we could try couples counseling first. I said we're broken up, and I'll do counseling only to see if there's any path later. But marriage is off. Now her family are saying I'm choosing money over love. Am I the one messing up?